What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Straight Up Real Talk. I'm your boy Serge, and I got Sarone here. Sarone, what's going on?
Nothing much. Just trying to beat this heat.
This heat.
That is exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to beat this heat.
Ain't it crazy? It is like crazy. It's like muggy, soupy. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Side note, we have to do something with that theme song, because that theme song is banging me. I like that.
I really do like it. I really do like it.
Behind the scenes, as we're about to go live, we're like, like we were rocking out. But what's going on? Seriously, what's going on?
I'm good. There's a lot been happening over these past 24 hours. Trump got indicted again.
Oh God.
Someone lost their lives for no reason at all. So we're gonna jump straight into it.
All right, let's go.
Wait,
what's going on?
We gotta thank all our followers.
Oh yeah.
Our listeners, our subscribers. You've been showing out for us, and if you haven't done it yet, go to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Music. Follow us, like us. Oh, by the way, answer those questions that are on Spotify. Yeah, because last week I posted one about who's in your top 5 for female rappers. So go on Spotify and answer those questions. Those are really good. Go ahead.
We're going to talk about that later. We're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that a little bit later. So
I was mad
for, giving us a shout out. And by the way, share this video with someone and go ahead and share this link with somebody that may never heard of us, and we may just make their day.
Yep.
So I appreciate everyone out there. All right, let's jump straight into it.
Right,
what's going on with Donald the Duck Trump?
Did you call him Donald the Duck Trump?
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Now I'm thinking about it. Donald Duck does have an orange beak, and so it's fitting. So, he was indicted. What is this? His third indictment? Third indictment for what happened. I was about to say allegedly, but it's definitely not allegedly because it was on TV.
It happened.
The January 6th insurrection. And so, like I said, this is his third one. He was indicted. I can't think of the prosecutor's name. Oh man, what is the prosecutor's name?
I don't remember either.
I can't think of. If you know in the comments, whatever the prosecutor's name is, he's not playing any games.
No, he's not. No, he's not at all.
Not playing games. And I was reading about him today, and he's like well liked by everyone. Mm-hmm. And he goes after, I don't want to say he goes after people, but his thing is like he goes after
Jack Smith. Someone said it in the
Jack Smith. Yes, Jack Smith.
Correct.
Thank you. That's his name, Jack Smith. He like goes after people who does the things that Trump has done. Like that's his thing. Mm-hmm. Like I'm losing my train of thought. I can't. I did all this research on Jack Smith earlier.
All the white collar crimes that everyone is afraid to touch.
Yes.
And they got him from a whole different country.
Exactly.
So he's completely independent of all the Democrat, Republican, liberalism. He's like neutral, and he's gonna stick to the facts. Whatever is in black and white, it's there. And he's getting indicted for the third time.
Yes.
And this is not allegedly. It happened. Yeah. We all saw it with our own 2 eyes, hear it with our own 2 ears, that the insurrection. People lost their lives because of his action, his words that he told his people to go and do it. Can you imagine if then President Obama did some BS like that?
But Sarone, Obama did something worse though, right? You don't remember that tan suit? Come on, remember the tan suit?
Oh, for the
remember that?
Easter.
Remember he put on that tan suit and everybody they lost their damn mind because he wore a tan suit. They literally lost his mind for a tan suit, right? Mm-hmm. But we had this like 100-time impeached orange turd over here, like doing everything. don't get me started. I'm just gonna get mad.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna get mad.
Exactly. So we will see if he will answer to any of his crimes, if he will actually plead guilty. So only time.
Real quickly, we're not going to go into depth about this, but 'cause we talked about this behind the scenes. But do you think that he's going to be held accountable with any of this?
I think yes, but I don't think he's going to actually step foot in prison for it. But I do think he's going to be held accountable by the court of public opinion.
Okay.
People will remember it, and it's starting to trickle down in the Republican Party now that people are beginning to realize, okay, this guy is not the party that I want to be off, So, but people need to get out and vote.
Yeah, I think they just released the latest poll, and on the Republican side, he's like beating them like 3-1. Like it's just like this insane number. Like Ron DeSantis is like at number like I think he has like 13% to Trump's like I'm like 40-50%. It's something insane. And so unfortunately there are still some, I'll call them people out there who are still willing to vote for them. Vote for
I don't know why or how.
You know why. You know why, but that's another story for another day.
We'll move on because
for an election day, right? For an election day show.
For election day coverage.
I know, right? Election day coverage.
Now, something happened this weekend, or this past week, I would say, with Cardi B.
Cardi B was performing.
Yeah. What exactly happened, Serge? Because
she was in Vegas performing, right? And this is the story in its entirety because there are a lot of things out there, right? And so she was performing in Vegas. She got on stage and she said, it's hot, whatever the case may be. You guys, pour some, I'm paraphrasing, but pour some water on me, but don't throw any water in my face. And people were like wetting her, neck down, no problem. The young lady, I don't know if she was young, but the lady
she's a young lady.
You saw in the video, she threw the water and we saw it, got all in Cardi B's face, and she threw the mic at the lady and it bopped her upside her head. And so
it did.
I'm sorry, it's funny. And so the lady was like thrown out, whatever it maybe. Cardi still finished her set. There was a lady who was next to this particular lady who got hit, who's now suing Cardi B, saying that the microphone also hit her and she's all stressed. The usual BS that they're going to say, whatever this may be. But so that's what happened. You and I talked about this. Do I think that girl did it on purpose? I don't think so. When I look at the video, I don't think the girl did it on purpose. I think she went to throw water and, like you said, gravity, whatever the case may be, it just went straight for her face. Do I think Cardi B was wrong? No, because if I'm in concert and I say you can splash water on it, but make sure you don't get any in my face, right? And I'm performing, and then I see someone fling water and it gets in my face, I would have probably had the same reaction she would have had. I would have probably threw my mic at you because my initial thought is going to be you did that on purpose. You know what I mean? That would be my initial reaction. I would have probably did the exact same thing she did. I would have threw a microphone. It would have been like a boomerang.
Okay.
I would have caught it. But no, I would have did the same thing. Sorry.
So I'm so happy that we have two different opinions too much right here. No. And this is what I'm going to say.
Go ahead.
You're throwing water on stage. It's not like you're throwing a ball that you can have perfect aim all the time. You're throwing water in a cup, water in a bottle or something. At some point in time, gravity is going to take control. Luckily, in the first part of when the fans were throwing water, it only hit her from down. Now, when this other person did it, gravity took control and it went in her face.
Yeah.
I don't think it was intentional, you know what I'm saying? But at the same point in time, you can't just say, hey, only throw water on this side of my body, but not that side. Like sometimes stuff is going to happen.
Yeah.
So you can't be mad when accidents do happen. And
Yeah.
then there was another video a day or so later when she literally threw a microphone at the DJ on the stage that she was playing at a couple hours or the
Yeah.
following day. So
Mhm.
this is becoming a habit where people are not trying to like, is this really legit, or is she
Mhm.
just trying to just
Mhm.
make something bigger out of this
Yeah.
situation?
No, but hear me. I am not disagreeing with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I said, it's just that I know me, my immediate reaction. If I
Mm-hmm.
tell you don't throw water in my face,
Mm-hmm.
and you do throw water in my face, it's
Mm-hmm.
on site. Like, because to me, I'm gonna think you're doing it on purpose. Now, like I said, I don't think that lady did it on purpose. But again,
Okay.
with it would have been my immediate reaction. If I tell you don't do something and you do it, I'm gonna think you're being funny. And so you would have got the mic, or you'd have got my foot, you'd have got something. Like, I'm just being honest. But I also agree with you. But again, immediate reaction, like it's like, someone hits you first, it's like boom, hitting your back, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
But I
And so
also,
I see both sides. I see both
yeah,
sides.
and also Cardi B is not the type of person that you want to play with too. And
No.
I am not a doctor or anything. I have no degree in that world. But I want to say she is bipolar.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, people. Allegedly.
Yes,
Um,
allegedly.
I
Like
don't I
she
don't think
goes
she's
in between.
I don't think she's bipolar. I just think she's from the Bronx.
Just
She's
pop off like
she,
easily.
yeah, like I don't she's not one of those celebrities that when they got on, she had like that class that they used to have the entertainers take back in the day to like soften you up and to give you like
Mm-hmm.
to get
More
you
approachable.
camera. Yeah. She didn't have that because her whole thing is around the way girl. I'm that girl. I'm not changing. You know what I mean?
Those long
That's
fingernails.
what I'm
Oh my
saying.
god.
Like people, and so that's why people like her. And so if she changed, it would be weird. And so
Mhm.
yeah, she didn't take that training course.
No, that
Yeah,
completely missed her.
yeah. But I do agree with everything you said.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's just like I said, is the immediate reaction for me. Like that would have
Okay.
probably been my immediate reaction if I'm performing and then something this jug of water is like I'd have been pissed.
And then again, before we go, she was lip syncing too. So I'm like, she was like singing.
She was rapping with a rapping track. It's a track in the back that plays. They all do it.
Okay. All right.
Listen. I'm gonna defend Cardi B to the bitter end. I love you some Cardi B.
Okay. Next.
You're like, okay, next.
Okay. So we're gonna go over to another a sad story. Um O'Shea Sibley, he lost his life
Yes.
uh because he was voguing.
Voguing.
He was dancing to a Beyonce song,
You won't
and
break my soul.
break my soul, and someone literally came up and killed him for
Well,
no.
there
Go
was
ahead.
an argument, and
Mm-hmm.
so this is what I read
Mm-hmm.
that they were at the gas station. Um, there was a Muslim group at the gas station, and I believe they had just came back from the beach because they were in their bathing suits, and some of them didn't have shirt on. They were
Mm-hmm.
playing music loud, I believe, while they were getting gas or something, and they were outside just dancing to Beyonce's song. The
Okay. Having
Muslim,
fun.
yes, the Muslim, and I have to say Muslim guys because that's what the
The article say.
yes, exactly. And I'm only saying that. Let me stop saying the Muslim. The other guys, came up to them and started, the typical, the F word and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
whatever it may be, and they both got into like this heated back and forth. And then that is when, I believe his name is O'Shea.
Yeah.
O'Shea really
O'Shea
wasn't,
Sibley.
from what I understand, O'Shea wasn't saying much, but he jumped in to defend one of his friends, and then that is when one of the other guys stabbed him. And then they tried, his friends tried to like save his life and stuff, but of course they couldn't. And so,
Okay.
but again, it was still for no reason. Like they were having a good time, minding their business, and the other group approached them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Beyonce did pay tribute to O'Shea on her website.
She did.
When she posted a rest in peace homage to him. So
She did.
sorry that he had to lose his life over
Yes.
something
Yes.
insignificant as this.
And if you
Um,
want to donate to his GoFundMe, there's a GoFundMe up. I believe the last time I looked, it was at $50,000. So that was a good thing. His
okay.
parents put it up to help with the services and stuff like that. And so if you have it, you can go to GoFundMe and donate.
But I know that this bleeds into another topic at some point in time we'll do, but this lets me know that there's still, even though the laws of the land are for LGBTQI people, the laws are for
Yeah.
people within that category, that there's still homophobic people who don't like those who are LGBT
Oh,
for
yeah.
no
I
reason
mean,
at all.
that's unfortunately, you're always going to have homophobic people. You're going to have racist people. You're going to have people
Hmm.
who don't like interracial relationships. You're going to have people who don't like trans people. You're going to like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to,
They don't like you because you have braids,
there's always going to be,
or because you want to go your natural hair to school.
yeah, there's always going to be, unfortunately, someone out there who don't like somebody because
Hmm.
of the odd thing about this, and I've been saying this for years that I don't understand, right? And this is what I don't understand. How does that affect your life in any way to the point
Not one bit.
that you're so upset about it? You know what I mean? Like you saw them over there dancing, having a good time. I don't care. Like it's not affecting your life. So I just don't understand. You know what I mean? Like I just don't get it. Even like racist people, like did something happen in your life where like a black person did something to your great grandmother down the line, and you're like, I
Mhm.
just can't figure out why are you so mad at people or that just doesn't
I don't
affect your life
know.
at all. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand. I don't know if these people are wired like their wires are crossed. I just don't get it. It makes no sense to me.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
But we're gonna stay on the topic of Beyonce because the next one we want to talk about
Ooh.
is Beyonce on the level of Michael Jackson. Now, I'm gonna pause here. If you have any questions, comments as usual, go ahead, type it down
Be
here, and we will
respectful.
definitely respond to your comments.
Be
So, do you think that
respectful.
Beyonce is on the level of Michael Jackson?
You asking me?
Of course. Yeah,
Do I think
she's on the level.
Beyonce is on Michael Jackson's level of success?
Yes. Mm,
I'm gonna have to say no.
why is that?
I was around during Michael Jackson's height.
Mm-hmm.
I was a kid, but I can clearly remember Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson had everyone, and like everyone was a Michael Jackson fan. White, Asian, Hispanic, like everyone loved Michael Jackson. Everyone bought Michael Jackson's music. When you went to his concert, you saw people fainting and passing out before he opened his mouth.
He just stood there.
He just stood there and people were passing out. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'd never seen anything like and this is just my opinion, the only person, the only artist that I can remember that's been around since I was alive and born, who I think had even come close to that would have been Madonna. I'm just going by what I saw
Mm-hmm.
growing up and like the level of like you may not like Madonna, but she was everywhere. She was everywhere. Everyone was dressing like her. She sold out state like it. She was everywhere. Um, do I think so? No. To answer the question, no, I don't think she's reached his level of success. However, I think that for this particular generation, for them, she is their Michael Jackson. She is. And I agree. She is.
Okay. Well, I will say that my answer is also no. She's not, in my opinion, she's at the level of Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, Is she successful? Yes. Is
Very,
she talented in certain areas? Most
very.
definitely.
Ooh, to shade certain areas. Stop. You should. Why'd you have to say certain areas? You know I wasn't gonna let that slide.
No, no one is perfect. No one is
Stop. See,
perfect.
you still doing it.
No one
Stop.
is perfect.
Stop.
But she is successful. She's not at the Michael Jackson level.
No,
You know what I'm saying? I don't think anyone will be able to top
I don't think so.
Michael Jackson's level of success.
I don't think so.
Um, I pray that no one gets to where he was in his personal life, you know, with drugs and all of that stuff. But as it
Yeah,
relates to the business side of it, I hope someone can get there and surpass that.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But I don't think
It would
she's
be great,
at the
but
level of Michael Jackson.
yeah, I think the problem is now too is that I don't think anyone can get to that level of success anymore, just simply because people aren't buying albums and CDs like they used
Correct.
to, right? He was able to sell, I think, like 50 million copies of
With
Thriller.
like within days,
50 million? Can you imagine you sold 50 million copies of one
that's a
CD?
lot.
One CD, 50 million. And this is what I'm saying. And so no one else is going to ever get a chance to do that, first of all, because people aren't buying CD. And so this
Correct.
is what I'm saying. Like, no, I don't think anyone would. I don't think anyone now would be able to even get to that level because just not buying. Even Taylor Swift, as big as Taylor Swift is,
Correct. She's big.
she's huge. But again, this is the thing. When I say this is the same thing I said about Beyonce.
Mhm.
Taylor Swift is huge. She's not huge with brown people. Some brown people like Taylor. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but you don't know too many brown people running out there buying Taylor Swift
They're
CDs,
not
right?
going to.
You don't, right? And so this is what I'm saying about the Michael Jackson. Everyone was buying his CDs. He would
Black,
go over to,
white,
yes,
Asian, you name it.
everybody. He would go to China and sell out shows. He would go to Russia. Like everybody was a Michael Jackson fan. Period. And so Beyonce is dope, but no.
Okay. I just want to go to the comments. Tiffany, in relation to the question, she said that no, she's not at
No,
their level.
she's not.
You know,
She's
you
not.
know,
Yeah.
she's
So
just not there.
she is dope. She's dope,
She
but
is,
yeah, she's dope.
but I don't think she'll ever get there though.
I don't. Yeah, no, no. I think. Yeah, I don't think so. Like, I at this point, let's be honest. I think Beyonce is like at her peak. My niece Exira said Thriller sold 100 million copies. Excuse me, Exira. Exira is Michael Jackson's #1 fan. That's his wife. And so she checked me live on the show. She said 100
Hey,
million. All right,
appreciate it.
listen. So 100 million. So that's even crazier, right? To sell
Mhm.
100 million copies of Dylan. And so yeah, no one is gonna top him. Yeah, Beyonce, I believe right now I think she's peaking. Right. I think this is like her peak. And
Okay.
so I don't think that she's gonna get any bigger than what she is, right? I think this is it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
We'll
so
see. We'll
but
see.
I mean, let's be honest, this is enough, right? Beyonce is
Yeah.
huge. She's always going to be huge. She's one of the biggest entertainers of this generation.
Mhm.
She actually doesn't have to reach Michael Jackson's level of success.
No, she's made it.
Yeah, she's huge for this generation, and so
Yeah, she
won't
is.
take that away from her.
Okay, Dwayne, I don't think she'll ever reach his level of success.
No,
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. All right, we're going to move on to one of our favorite things to do as the acts of Would You Rather.
Ooh.
Now, my question to you and to everyone who's watching, would you rather to travel the world for a year, all expenses paid, or have $80,000 to spend on whatever you want?
Travel the world
Mm-hmm.
for a year, all
All
expenses
expenses
paid.
paid, or have $80,000 to spend on whatever you want.
I'm probably going to take the $80,000 because I'm just probably thinking I'll be able to travel the world with $80,000 and have some money left over. Right? Like,
And especially like with these prices for ticket
that's
prices,
what I'm saying.
hotels,
I could get a nice cruise ship and spend maybe 20 grand on a cruise ship and go around the world with $20,000
Okay.
and have like 60 left. although $80,000 to me is not a lot of money. That would go fairly quickly with me. That would go real. You already know that would go real quick with me. But yeah, I'm gonna still say I would just take the 80 and do my own traveling with the 80.
Your own traveling, like on. So you're gonna budget that $80,000.
I'm gonna budget that 80. I'm gonna go on a nice trip
versus you getting an all expensive, paid first class everywhere you go. Now you gotta I gotta.
It sounds nice, right? It sounds nice, but in my head, it's like I could probably take 20,000 and go wherever I want to go, and have all of this money left over to like do whatever it is I want to do.
Okay.
What about you? Before we go to the comments,
I think in this case, I will take the all expenses paid.
Okay.
And have them pay for me to go travel around the world.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Okay.
If it was do it that way.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the comments. Dwayne said he would 80,000 I can invest in a business and then make that 80,000 multiplied and travel with a portion of it.
You got an entrepreneur over here in the comments.
I know, right? Good point. He said the portions of the profit, and Edward says, "Give me the money, I can travel to where I want to go."
Of course, that's
also a good point too.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. That's exactly what I said. Give me the money, I'll go where I want to go. Spend 20 grand.
Okay. And Braxton said, "All expense paid." That's what I'm talking about. All expenses paid.
That's what I'm talking about. Around the world, and Let me stop.
Yeah.
All right. So wait, I got one for you though. I got one.
Okay.
For you. All right. This is. Would you rather? You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather meet with your ancestors or meet your great grandchildren in the future?
Well, first of all, it's very unlikely
you're gonna have kids.
Unlikely. Without having
children. You're gonna say that. You're gonna have kids.
So I'm gonna go back in time and meet with my ancestors and find out some information and bring it back to the future.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write books, movies, plays, you name it. I'm gonna document it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Right. But it's very unlikely. Very unlikely.
You're gonna have kids. You're gonna have a whole litter of them damn things running around. You have a basket of kids.
Nah.
I was actually torn with this one myself. I was torn with this one, right? Because
what do you do?
I still haven't made up my mind, because I would love to see like my great grandchildren in the future. I would love to see them, right? But I would also love to go back in time to like speak to my ancestors, to be like we can vote.
What happened? Is it true that what they talk about?
No, but I would just like to tell them like we can vote now. Like there was a black president. Like they would be looking at me like, "Oh, you know what I mean?"
Flip out. You had a black president.
This is what I'm saying, right? So I would love to go back and like everything you guys did, right?
You really had a black president?
Blackity black, right? And so I would love to go back and be able to like give them that, to be like, everything you guys went through, like, we still ain't made it. We still ain't over that mountain. We still ain't over that mountaintop. But we still climbing. We still climbing, right? But no, I would love to. But then I also would love to see like my great grands. Like I would love to be like, yes. I honestly don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to answer this next week.
All right. Tiffany said, "Be with my ancestors," and my dog said she's not having any kids. Yes. Not having any kids at all. Okay, well, that was pretty good. All right, so we're going to move on pretty quickly. Now, this one is a very controversial topic, too.
What is it?
This is it. Should information on racism be taught in elementary school? Elementary school. Now, this has been a topic that we touched briefly on last season when it comes on to critical race theory.
Critical race theory, that's right.
The new term that they came up with, aka the Black people teaching our own history in school. Like, I do believe that it should be taught in school. You should talk about everything in school. You don't want for a child to grow up being ignorant to not knowing. And when you meet people from other countries, like, oh, you remember the slave trade? I'm like, what slave trade you talking about?
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then you have come to find out there was a slave trade, but they decided not to teach you in school. So you know nothing about it. So you grew up being ignorant to the fact.
Yeah.
So I do believe that racism should be taught in school, elementary, all the way up. Now, do they need to know it from pre-K? Probably not. You know
okay. So then what grade do you think that they
their mind is not yet developed to fully grasp, you know?
Yeah. So what grade do you think they should start teaching it in then?
So I believe probably like first grade. I don't know. Something like that.
Okay.
At a level where they believe that a child can remember stuff. As a matter of fact, toddlers can remember things. People grow up and say, "Oh, I remember when I was 2 years old." I'm like, "You remember when you were 2 years old?" I'm like, "I can't remember when I was 25."
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, at least at the elementary, at the first grade level, being taught how things happen, racism, about what happened, and don't segregate certain parts of the history to fit into the curriculum. Only talk about MLK and his speech, but don't talk about what happened before the speech or during the speech or after the speech, how he died, who killed him, why they killed him. You know what I'm saying? Talk about Harriet Tubman. Everyone. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to get really deep into it or get into racism on a whole, talk about police brutality coming back before the Jim Crow era into now, which extends into the 21st century. Don't pick and choose what to teach, because knowledge is power, and you can't just teach a white history and not teach the other history of other people. That's what I think.
Okay.
What do you think? You think it should be taught in elementary school?
You know, because I have a kid in elementary school, right? And so I was looking at this from all angles. Do I think it should be taught in elementary school? I do. I think the earlier you teach, I hate when people say, "Oh, they're so young, they're not ready." As parents, you never think they're ready.
Correct.
Right? And I think the earlier that you start teaching these kids about this, I think the earlier they will start to grasp the concept and know potentially what not to do. You know what I mean? Or not listening to outside, influence and things. If you start telling them this early, they can come up with their own judgments versus, let's just say, if you have racist parents, right? You know what I mean? And so I also think that it should be taught in school. I'm not quite sure the age yet. For instance, my son, we slowly started saying certain things to him, like, everyone isn't treated fairly and the same. And sometimes he look at me and like, really? Like, sometimes, brown people, we have to do things a little differently. And he kind of looks at me like, why? Exactly. Right. And so they can comprehend, you know what I mean? And so I think it's about finding the right balance of what to say to them. Right. And
correct.
For instance, jokingly, he'd be like, "I'm the police. You're under arrest." And I'm like, "Whoa, we ain't playing around like that." We don't play around like that around
here. Yeah, but yeah, I do believe that it should be taught. The age, I don't know.
Yeah.
But whatever age that should be as socially acceptable for kids to start learning of what, because no one grows up, no one start out this life being a racist or a bigot.
No.
And like no one realized that their friend is of a lighter complexion than they are. They just see that we are best friends.
Yeah.
And that's it. Because I was watching the Steve Harvey show before it got off the air, and there's two little boys. They call themselves twins, and they dress alike.
Yeah.
He went home and said, "Mom, I want to dress like my best friend because he's my best friend in the whole wide world. So for my birthday, I want my twin to dress as me." When they showed on the TV, one was a white kid and one was a black kid. They didn't realize in their head, it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm black and he's white.
Yeah.
We can't be best friends. We can't even be twins.
Yeah.
You know, so you don't grow up being a racist. As you get through life and the type of parents and the family that you go, you realize, oh, something is different than him than for me. Yeah. But let's go to the comment section real quick. Avery said kids during their early stages of life do absorb a lot of knowledge. That is 100% correct.
Yeah.
A lot of knowledge, more knowledge than we think that they don't absorb. You know, how to use a cell phone. That's a lot of information. You have elderly folks who still don't know how to download an app on a phone. They get a lot of information.
My 6-year-old knows how to go on his iPad and download video games, and bottom I had to put a lock on it because I was getting charged. He's swiping, and I'm like, no, what are you doing? I'm like, how did you figure that out? He's like, all you got to do is go ahead and you press this button. And I was like, what? I was like, oh, hell
no. and before you know it, you have Amazon packages coming to you.
This is what I'm saying, right? Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't order this.
No.
Yeah, okay. Dwayne said it's very unfortunate that we must have these conversations with our younger black and brown children. But it is very important to have those tough conversations early so they better understand when or if it happens.
Yeah.
It's very important to have that conversation.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know if I told the story live on the air, excuse me, but for me, even I remember being in first or second grade. You know, for some of you don't know, I was born in the South. I moved to New York later on, but I was born in the South. I think I was in the South till maybe I was 10, and then I moved to New York. But anyway, I went to school in the South, racist as hell. I remember being in school. I think it was second grade. The school was primarily white. We lived in a white neighborhood and went to a pretty much all white school. And I remember walking down the hall, and I remember like white kids behind me. Boys were literally walking behind me, mocking my lips, saying they had this, and I'm like, I can't say it up here, but it was the N-word lips. But they were just literally just walking behind me saying that N-word lips, like behind me. It was like maybe 6 of them. And so I honestly had no clue even what that word was. I was like, what the hell are they talking about? Like, it wasn't until I was older. Then I realized, I was like, wow, they really said that as kids. Like,
how would they even know?
Exactly. So their parents must have been saying it, or like somebody had to. But again, we were talking about the racist South, North Carolina. It's still racist now. But it's funny. My mother does not know that story, so she will probably know that story. I've never told my mother that story because she would have probably went to do. My mom was crazy, so she'd probably went up to the school fighting the kids. But yeah, and so, but again, I didn't know, right? I didn't know what racism was, and so I was like, why the hell are they behind me walking, talking like that? What the hell are they saying, right? And so, teach your kids early.
Yes, I agree. Okay, all right, we're gonna go on to another topic.
Why are you smiling though? What is this topic?
Okay, we're going to talk about relationship.
Oh God!
Now the question is: are traditional relationships dead?
Deader than the doorknob.
And why is that though?
They are sincerely dead.
Why is that traditional relationships are just not anymore? Is traditional relationships bad? Or is that we have to find a new age? We're in a new age that we've got to think differently, do things differently.
Let's be honest. And Saron, I don't know, you may be able to talk about this. more, I would say. But from what I understand and from what I hear, the people out there are not really trying to have like long-term monogamous relationships anymore. Like I don't hear that anymore.
You want to hit it and quit it.
Is they want to, they want to, I'm going to tell my age, but they want to wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. They want, like you say, hit it and quit it. They want menage a trois and they want polys. Nothing wrong with any of that stuff. God bless you. There's nothing wrong with it. But for the people who were still looking for traditional relationships, like one-on-one longevity, you want to like the house with the white picket fence and maybe a kid or two dogs. Like you don't hear too many people saying that anymore. And technology, I think technology ruined relationships. I do. I think when those apps came about and it was easy to swipe left and right and somebody is like one block over for a hookup, I think it made it easy to just go out there and do whatever it is you want to do when you wanted to do it, right? It was at your fingertips. Whereas before you had to sneak around and you had to find out who was down and who wasn't. Now it's on your phone. You know who's down. You know what I mean? And so,
yeah. I do believe that our traditional relationships are dead. There's people want to have a lot of variety in their relationship. And if one person can't provide that, it's okay, I still want to be with you because I need that aspect of you. Yeah. But let's go get someone else that fulfills that void that you can't fix.
Yeah. Yeah.
And before you know it, you have Tom, Dick, Harry, Mary Sue, Kim, Marcus.
You better throw everybody in there.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But and they don't realize that when you do this, you're sharing parts of yourself with all of these people. You're sharing yourself. So you don't have one person that you can go to or one person can come to you. You have to share yourself and give different versions of you to these different people.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of energy to do all of that.
Yeah.
You know, and you're going to get attached to one person more than the next. And then here comes the jealousy. Here comes, you're spending more time with that person than me. Yeah. And you're not texting me back. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know how you can be a player because your schedule got to be on point. I got to spend 20 minutes with you, 21 minutes with you. I can't spend 22 minutes. I only can spend 21 minutes with you. Then I have to go here. And then after that, I got to go across town. Then I got to go fly to Chicago. Then I got to go to California.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's a lot of time.
It's crazy. Right. I just don't know. I just one other thing too. I just don't know. Like, and I don't know. It's just me. I'm showing my age. Like when you look back, like if you like have all of these people, like who are you creating these long-term memories with? You know what I mean? Like 30 years, you look back and like, oh, remember we did this or we did that, or remember.
Now you're gonna start confusing.
Exactly. Who did I do that with? You know what I mean? And I'm not judging.
Mary from Chicago. No.
Yeah. And I'm not judging any single people. If you want to be single, that is great. Not judging you guys. This is for people who say they want to be in long-term relationships, but they're doing other things that are saying the complete opposite. So we're talking about those people, the ones who say, oh, I'm looking for somebody. Oh, I'm so, the people, oh my God, I wish I had somebody. I'm so lonely. Then to get someone and then they're still swiping left and right on their phone.
I agree.
We're talking about those people.
Yeah. All right. Let's go over here. Dwayne just said, I think it all depends on the two individual. It's hard to find however, it does still exist.
Okay.
I believe it still exists out there. You just got to just pray to God that this person is just not jumping from bedroom to bedroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you jump from bedroom to bedroom, you bring what the other person gave to you into the other person life.
Everything is going from bedroom to bedroom.
Literally.
Right? Yeah.
Literally.
Also, I think now this generation has a very short attention span. Very short, right? It's like they're excited for the first couple of weeks, and then when it wears off, they're like, okay,
what's next?
Let me start swiping left and right again. Right?
Yeah. Oh, this person's 2 miles away or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go to music. We're going to go to music. Last week we talked about the the rappers and the this and the that, the female rappers, and some folks were a little bit up in their feelings that we
People
didn't
were
mention
upset.
Salt and Pepper. You know what I'm
Multiple
saying?
people were upset about this.
Pepper. So talk to us, Serge. Like, do you think Salt and Peppers were game changers?
Salt and Pepper's here.
Quite honest,
Um,
they're not even in
don't
the top
don't
10.
don't do it. Don't do it.
I did it. I said it.
Don't do it. Don't do
They're
it.
not even in my
Don't do
top
it.
10. Now, were they good? Most definitely. But were they like,
So Salt and Peppers were definitely game changers. They were definitely influenced other artists from their clothes, their hairstyle. Like again, I grew up in Salt and Pepper were out, and they were huge, right? All of the girls were cutting their hair and dyeing it, and their hair was falling out because they were putting all the dye in, or whatever it may be. The cut up pants, like everyone was doing it. The reason why I don't put Salt and Pepper on list is because pretty much they're a group, right?
okay,
And in my mind, it's almost like if you say who are your top 5 favorite top 5 rappers, right? Male. I'm gonna say like Big Daddy Kane, B.I.G., Tupac, whatever it may be, right? I'm not gonna say EPMD or Eric B and Rakim or anything because they're a group, right? And so that's how I categorize Salt and Pepper. It's just unfortunate that there weren't a lot of groups that were as big as them. Salt and Pepper were huge, like huge, right? And so
as a group.
Exactly, as a group. And so that's the reason why I don't put Salt and Pepper in those type of categories. To me, they're like Missy Elliott. She's like in a class by herself. I think Salt and Pepper are kind of like in a class by themselves. But I think Salt and Pepper definitely deserves accolades and credit and
Most definitely.
because they were huge. They also changed the game. And out of curiosity, can you name 5 female rap groups?
That is strictly rap?
Rap groups. 5. Not including Salt and Pepper.
No, I can't.
You see what I mean? Like they're I mean, I think I could probably name 5, but most of you probably wouldn't know who the 5 are. So
like I know of groups that had a person in it that did rap.
Straight female rap group.
Nah, I can name like R&B groups.
No, rap.
But there's hardly any notable female rap groups apart from Salt and Pepper.
Have you heard of JJ Fad?
I don't know those people.
No. Sequence and Finesse?
Negative.
Oaktown 357?
Nope. Negative.
Nope. Yeah, see, this is BWP? No? See, this is what I'm saying. And so this is why, Tiffany, exactly, Finesse and Sequence. This is why like I put Salt and Pepper in their own category because they were a group. And so, but I do think that I think they deserve to be up there with them. They, their music like transcended. It did. Like, let's talk about sex. Like it transcended. None of your business. Shoot. Like they were huge.
Okay. All right, let's go to the comments. Braxton said that he does believe that Salt and Pepper are game changers, and it's a lot of female hip hop artists who says they paved the way for them, which is correct.
Yes,
they did pave the way for them. And Tiffany did answer Finesse and.
I know you looking like, what is that, right? Sequence and Finesse. Sequence and Finesse. That were their names. Yeah. You don't remember JJ Fad?
No.
They had the song where they were rapping really fast, Supersonic.
I think probably if I hear it, then it will jog my memory.
Yeah. And you don't look, okay, so you know who MC Hammer is, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he had backup dancers who were called 357. They branched off and became a rap group, and they were called Oaktown's 357.
Oh,
so that's who they are, but
okay.
Yeah. There were a couple, but yeah.
Okay. All right, we're going to the same music thing because we don't have a lot of time left. Do you now? Is this the which era of music are you most attracted or attached to? I should say.
Yes. For me, I
Uh-huh.
would have to say right now, I play the most music from the 70s and 80s. So this right now, I play the most music in the 70s and 80s. I do. Like I love
Okay.
70s and 80s music. Like you get in my car anytime, I'm gonna have on 70s and 80s music. I grew up listening to 70s and 80s music. And I don't want to say I grew up as a kid. My mom was playing 70s and 80s music. I grew up with 90s music.
Okay.
It's just different. The 70s and 80s music is just different music from the
And the music of this
90s
generation.
and 2000. Like, don't get me wrong, you have a lot of like good songs from the 90s, of course, and I grew up, a lot of bangers, but the music just from the 70s and 80s to me was
Mm-hmm.
just different. I didn't even grow up with 70s music, but I was listening to it because my mom was, and I love 70s and 80s music. I just do. Oh,
Are
and
we
I'm talking
talking
like,
about the Spinners, the Temptations,
yeah,
all of those people?
all of the disco
Gladys, the
era.
Aretha, the
Yes,
Patty.
from the 80s. I listened to Duran Duran. I listened
Mm-hmm.
to Robert Palmer, Simply Irresistible. Everything from the 70s
Okay.
and 80s. Pat Benatar, like everybody from the 70s and 80s, I still listen to.
Okay.
That's for me. All right, what era do you listen to the most?
So I listen to everybody. You
Yeah,
just never know what you're gonna hear when you come in my car. You could hear Mozart, you could hear reggae, you could hear dancehall, you could hear a little bit of hip hop, you could hear anything, with the exception of heavy metal.
yeah.
Mm,
No, I take that back. I did listen to Van Halen growing up and Duran
but
Duran.
then again, how often?
Growing
Yeah,
up, I did listen to them quite often.
I know. For me, it's some no, no.
Yeah. Now I don't. Now I don't listen to heavy metal now, but
All the screaming and the no.
well, no, okay, well, no, yeah, wait, I take that back. I take that back. Not heavy metal. I know what you're talking about now. You're
Uh,
talking about the no.
yeah.
This was more like soft rock.
Oh no, that's
Yeah,
different now.
yeah, soft
Yeah.
rock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but for me, you never know what you're gonna. But I think for me, that I gravitate to most,
yeah,
I would say probably the 80s and 90s
yeah,
music era. I do love the 70s and
yeah,
beyond, and before that, I do love them all. But the 80s to the 90s, because people always say like have an old soul, which I
yeah,
think I do have an old soul.
yeah,
But I like music that I can hear the words of the song.
yeah.
The one that has the meaning that, like, have you ever listened to El Luther Vandross?
Of course.
And you hear the
Wait,
words,
Big
the
Luther or Little
message that
Luther?
comes from it.
Big Luther or Little Luther?
Okay, I
No,
actually
no, no.
like
But I
them
get
both. I do like them both, but I'm gonna say little Luther did his thing though.
no. Little Luther was okay.
Yeah, he did his thing. He did his thing. But I
Little
think
Luther was
Big
fine.
Luther is what made Luther Luther.
Thank you, thank you. Big
Yeah,
Luther, Big
that made
Luther,
Luther
Big
like
Luther,
Luther.
Big Luther all the way. Big Luther all
Yes,
the way.
yes. So
But no, I get
80s
what you're
to
saying.
90s
I get
is
what you're saying.
my area.
Yeah, yeah,
From
yeah,
R&B, even though I'm not a big fan of hip hop and rap,
yeah,
but when I hear certain hooks, they're like,
yeah.
oh, I remember that, you know. But
You
for
know what's
some of the new school stuff, I'm like,
yeah,
y'all missing that sauce.
what's funny is I grew up, in the 90s, really growing
Uh-huh.
up, I was in like high school and then just when I kind of like I'll say I grew up. I listened to the 90s music the least.
Really?
I do. It's weird. I listen to it. I guess because I grew up with it, I listen to it all the time, and I
Mhm.
lived in it, so I don't listen to '90s music that much. It's weird.
Mm.
And I'm realizing probably it's because I grew up in it and I listened to all of the songs so much that now I don't really care for it. So I go back and listen to '70s and '80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are they saying
Okay.
in the comments? What's
All right,
going
let's
on
go to
here?
comments. Braxton said he's a definitely is he's in the 90s.
'90s.
He's in the 90s, which is that's a good time,
Yeah, the '80s. I'm still in the
Yeah, because
'90s.
didn't Kelly Price come out like in the 90s?
Kelly Price was in the '90s. Yep.
Earlier, no, she was late 90s,
Mid,
right?
mid, Mid to late.
90s.
He was a friend of mine.
Yeah, Edward said he's a 80s baby. Well,
80s.
Yeah, 80s. He's definitely in the 80s. Bradshaw said definitely the 90s. 90s had some of the best music of all genres, which is true. And then Tiffany said 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah, those are some good years.
Yeah.
And Alejandro said a lot of 90s and 80s, and he said he likes the soft rock.
Soft rock.
Yeah, so he likes your type of soft rock music.
Don't do that. He likes your type of soft rock.
And he likes Big Luther.
Big Luther. See, I told you.
Like Big Luther did his thing though. And but wait a second, wasn't Big Luther with the jerk curls?
Yeah, exactly. When it was dripping on his white collar.
Yes.
It's like that's when he had like the deepest voice. It's Luther.
Yeah. But I think the music that I'm attached to the 80s and 90s. Those are the time that I always, I think my Alexa, I can't talk too loud because my Alexa might start
playing it.
You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, hey, play me some Brandy or Whitney Houston or some Luther Vandross or something like that. But I do go back to the 70s and I play the Spinners. I play some Diana Ross. Back then the Commodores, the Temptations, all of those people. I typically like to play, and I've actually found some songs that I've heard before, but didn't know that they were from the 70s. And then again, these new school artists now are sampling songs from the 70s, the 80s, and above. So it's like those music are telling you that they had like a lot of stuff going on back then. But the new school music now, they have no substance, they have no juice, they don't have nothing at all.
I'm not gonna. That's another story for another day.
That's another thing for another day. Okay, so we're going to move on real quick.
We got 3 minutes. All right, let's go.
Yeah, so we're gonna end this on this note for what would you do, real quick.
Okay.
If your house had to be a theme song, what would it be?
Do you know what's funny? I'm going to answer that, Rick. You know what's funny? Mine was, if your life was a theme song, what would it be?
Oh,
that is hilarious. So you said if my house
was a theme song,
what would it be? Probably Superstar by Luther Vandross.
That one.
And I know that's a weird, what you say?
Superstar? I don't think... I have to hear the beat.
If I long ago and so far away.
Oh, that okay. I know it. You better sing now.
It's peaceful. It's calm. I love his voice. It calms me. It puts me in a relaxed state when I'm home relaxing. I love that song. So that's what my theme song in my house would be. Superstar by Luther Vandross. Big Luther. All right. What would yours be?
My theme song. I think probably my theme song would I don't know. It's kind of weird because I like them all, but I think probably my theme song is something inspirational. I'll probably say something from Fantasia, like "Loose to Win Again." Sometimes you gotta. Yes, but I think probably mine would be "Loose to Win Again" or something like that. Because every week or every day it might change.
So around yours would be all I want to do is zoom, and a boom, boom, just shake your arm.
Yes, indeed.
No, I'm just joking. But so yours would be Fanny.
Yeah, something about Loose to Win, something inspirational though.
Yeah, no.
That's how it goes. Heck, you never know. Tomorrow it might be
something different, right?
Or you do something. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good though. But we're out of time. Ooh. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to go and subscribe to us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We are on Spotify, Apple Music, Podcasts.
Follow us on Threads.
Oh yes, we're on Threads now too. So go ahead and just leave a comment and just let us know how the show was.
Yes, comment, subscribe, share.
Yes, go ahead and share this video with anyone else. Yeah. So
I think I said this too. Hit us up on our Facebook page and let us know what you would like for us to talk about. Don't be afraid. Let us know you have anything you want us to talk about in particular, we'll shout you out and say this question came from you or this topic came from you. So hit us up. Hit us up, definitely.
Okay. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. Peace out.
Peace.